Yes, sir. We have been scrambling to get those folks.
Sir, this is
66,000 rounds of 5.56 and 12,000 rounds of caliber 45. That equates to 40 rounds per M16 and 16 rounds per 45. In the area of body armor, there's another truck and a CH-47 due in here with 1,800 more sets.
Good count on where everybody is and where they're going and how many more guys we got. Now, General Stewart has some numbers here, and we know where the missions are and what we got going on. So we're right now pretty well up to the 2,000 guys we got as far as potential commitments are concerned. And so now what we got to look at is what's coming down from up north, if anything, because the MP guys are coming down. But I talked to Colonel Fields, and he may get stuck up there depending on what breaks open up there. And so, but what's the number we got based on the non-committed guys?
1576.
Including the guys that are coming up from San Diego and the guys on their own. So let Colonel Disk and Brigadier General Stewart take care of that. And then we're going to work it out so General Lappy will be part of the operation when he has to sleep and he has to stay awake. And now that he has a picture on this, we'll get a little more guidance going. But I want to be sure that we focus and maintain the chain. And I repeat, do not save information. You're all in the same damn building. Get around to people and tell people what the hell's going on. Don't think that the guy already knows. Don't take it for granted. And if you come in my office and you get guidance, be damn sure to get back to the chief. I don't want to have to remind you about that again. That's just plain, ordinary, everyday staff coordination. That's what the hell you get paid for. Get it done. Do I make myself clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I don't want to talk about it any damn more. Questions? Okay, Chief, go ahead.
Let's make sure we got vans in place to get the governance party.
What time are they going to arrive here about?
19:30, sir.
Okay. We got the briefing set for what, 18:30?
Sir, if we can.
Are we ready to go now?
We're
How fast can we go early?
Sir, yeah, we can. We may have a few holes in it.
Well, if we go
You want to give that
18:30,
opinion when they get here.
18:30 shouldn't take us a half hour, then
Gives you plenty
then
of
we got the
time.
half hour to.
because we'll get out of your hair when we're finished, and we'll say what you're going to say because we've just seen it,
We've just
and
seen
then
it,
you
right.
guys can do whatever
Any fine tuning we need to
You're
do.
going to brief the general and
the advance
Governor,
party is all I'm going to do. You guys can do your own thing.
Okay.
the governor and the, okay.
Can you give me updates, sir, on the ammo for 4160? The ammo for those 3 sheriff stations is en route to the sheriff stations right as we speak.
Okay, great.
And we're gonna get a feedback when it arrives.
Yes, sir, they're going to call.
Feedback on this issue.
I talked to the sheriff, the EOC up there. They are not deploying our people out of the sheriff stations until they've had a chance.
Teddy bear, check.
Here in a support mission to the local law enforcement, and it's up to them to determine where they want to send the units once we are turned over to them. Well, they are out there. As I told the person when I just got on the phone, I just got here myself within the last hour, and one of the problems that a lot of the guard troops are running into is getting here. I was in Northern California today and could not get down here because of the traffic pattern. I was trying to fly in. Well, there are 2,000 troops that were originally called up, and we have been waiting for the sheriff to come ahead and say, yes, we will use them, and this is where we'll use them. And as of right now, there are approximately 2,900 National Guard troops that are either being used by the local law enforcement or they're in their staging areas right now. Some of the units have received orders and are on the streets. As I said, when I walked through the door here, the television was on channel 13, and there was someone there standing in front of some military units on the streets. We are standing by. We are pulling all of our troops in. As the governor announced, he's called up now 4,000, and we have gotten in touch with them, and we're bringing them in to the staging areas. We are waiting for local law enforcement to tell us where they want them all to go. And they have to make that determination, and then we get in touch with them, and they are going out into the streets, and you will see that as you travel throughout the LA area, more and more of the National Guard troops are setting up, and they have been doing so since before dusk this evening. No, it's not our call. We are in a support position, and we're working with the local law enforcement, but we are not taking the lead on this action. I am part of the original 2,000.
Can you confirm a report that we had that the California National Guard is requesting some logistical assistance from the Arizona National Guard?
No, I can't. I don't have any information on that at this point, but I am going to a briefing later, and it's possible that I will get that information.
Okay, without revealing anything that may be classified, can you tell us the kind of orders that you have as to what your assignment is in this current crisis?
My specific assignment is a public affairs officer, and I'm doing what I'm trained to do, and that's interface with the media and coordinate any of the public affairs aspect or media relations type aspect of this operation.
Major, for people who are in the area who are watching the broadcast now who are not familiar with, say, the duties of those guardsmen and the assignment of the guardsmen that are currently on the street, can you then say what they are empowered to do?
Well, primarily we're looking at a civil defense type mission, a military police, if you will, and it's mainly crowd control and to prevent. They're not in an aggressive position out there, they're in a defensive position.
Major Antosh, this is Larry McCormick. I'd like to ask you where the guardsmen and women, I presume, obviously, who have been deployed here in Los Angeles come from. Do they come from the entire state of California, primarily Southern California, or where?
They're from all over the state.
I see. So conceivably some men or women could have come.
Stretches all the way from the Mexican border to the Oregon border.
So conceivably some men and women could have had to come from as far away as Crescent City.
That's true.
What is the total number of individuals in the National Guard that could be called up in a crisis?
In California right now, the number is approximately 24,000.
Okay, so we're talking approximately 1/6 of the total number of National Guard in California, right?
At this time, with the drawdowns, we're looking at a greatly reduced number.
Okay, by the way, Major, we are showing some scenes of looting that was taped earlier during the day as we are chatting here with you. Could you tell us what kind of equipment the National Guard forces will be carrying with them as they perform their duties in our city?
Right now, the only thing I can tell you is what I saw briefly on the television, because I just reported in here within the last hour and a half, so I haven't even been through a formal briefing. But they are in a military vehicle. They're all wearing the protective vest, black vest. They're wearing their face shields and helmets. Many of them will have weapons, M16.
Yeah, we saw some of the M16s.
And women will be armed with live ammunition or rubber bullets.
But to the best of my knowledge, it's live ammunition.
Thank you.
And we noticed earlier the vehicles, the armored vehicles, were those Humvees?
Yes, those are the popular Humvees that we've heard about in the press lately.
Okay, well, Major, we thank you very much, and if possible, we would like to talk to you later this evening as the situation develops.
That'll be fine. I will be here all night.
Well, Major, thank you very much. You've been very helpful.
Thank you, Major.
Thank you.
We want to go now to Ed Arnold for a report. Ed?
The National Guard has a heavy presence here.
Asked by the governor to call up 4,000 as of.
Major, by our board, they are in place even across the state without another 2,000 in local armories.
They have been, yes, they've been called up to their armories, been told to report to their armories, and for the most part, they're in the staging areas, in the local LA area right now, or en route. For the most part, they're here in the LA area.
Do you have time frame him or the other 1,000?
We expect them to arrive by morning. For the most part, we will have all 4,000 by morning ready to accept missions.
I don't want you to run, that's right. Something else we may or may not have to get into is called an officer down drill. We use it within SWAT. And it's simply, if one of us happens to get shot and goes down, the technique that you use, and it's pretty simple, is the guy gets hit, who's ever around him steps to the other side of him, provides fire at wherever he was shot from to suppress that person. All right, to either kill him or put their head down. And the officers or the guardsmen behind him
drag him and
get him out of there.
Get him to some cover.
Yeah.
Well, they can work.
Already wearing their vest and everything, but you know when the adrenaline's running, somebody Derma's size is going to be able to pull me 50 yards back. So don't worry about he's bigger. Grab by the harness straps of your LBE and drag him. Get him out of there. And then as soon as he's cleared, the officers, the guys in front can then retreat back to somewhere and cover. Like that, I don't know what we're going into. If they're that organized, if the gangsters are that well put together, then they might start putting up some organized offensives against either the guard or the cops. We would be an easier target because we're not as well trained as the police is. So that might be something that they would go for more than going at LAPD.
And you mentioned something also, your platoon sergeants are your platoon sergeants. He tells you to stop firing, stop firing. You still go by your chain of command.
Your name, sir?
Gary Hill.
And you're commander of?
Alpha Company. Second tank. In Calexico.
Calexico? And what's the story about your dad?
I was just saying it's kind of funny that my father led a company of the 3rd tank into Watts in 1965.
Yeah? And how'd that happen?
They were going up for their annual training and they got sidetracked. They stopped and formed them up in an area, issued them live ammunition, and ended up marching into Watts the next morning.
So what kind of stories do you tell about it?
Oh, he just talked about the fact that one of the blocks in his area was on fire the whole time, and the same type of thing. He said he didn't really see too much, action other than the way they did it was different too. They occupied the streets. They put a guardsman on every street corner, and they had roving patrols in between. In fact, my father's first sergeant is the brigade sergeant major right now. Sergeant Major Dorsey. My father's first sergeant at the time. At E6 in Bravo Company, he's also up here today.
Were there any delays in getting up from Calexico? Was there any problems?
Plenty of delays. Buses were supposed to be there at 5. The buses didn't get there till 1 o'clock in the morning.
Good. But now you're ready to go? You have ammunition?
Everybody's got ammo and are ready to go. I think the guys are in pretty good spirits. They're a real close-knit company.
Hey guys, you ready to go?
Yeah.
Okay. Very serious situation up there. On the way in, I'm going to take you through a small piece of it, and it's going to be a real education for you. I personally have never seen anything like it. We need to think about a lot of things, and the big thing is safety. You all have ammunition, is that correct? Yes, sir. What's the status of your magazines right now?
Pretty much empty.
2 magazines?
Oh, as far as
When you get off the trucks in the shopping center where we're going, you're going to load those weapons. You're not going to lock and load, but you're going to have those magazines in place in your weapon. Okay? There's already been a sniping incident in the plaza. One of the KPBS news trucks was there. About 250 of us in the area. All of a sudden the windshield shot out. It's a very serious situation up there. There are about 200 police, LAPD